Alright, so today we're going to go over the installation of this Qidi Tech filament dry box. We're going to be installing it on this Plus 4, Qidi Tech Plus 4. It comes in this green box right here. There's a couple of things that come inside. We have the desiccant, which helps it dry, and the instructions to replace and remove are on there. We have the dry box. We have a couple of feeder tubes. We got these clamps that we actually won't be needing on the Plus 4. And then we already have this, which comes with the Plus 4 itself. So there are instructions on how to do this back here. It's pretty straightforward. I had some small things I had to kind of figure out on my own, but I'll walk through those. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up this desiccant, and we're going to place it inside this compartment that's over here. So there's a little compartment right there. It's going to go inside there. This is what it looks like once it's open. So you're going to go ahead and just shove it in there. I'm going to have to do it with one hand. There we go. So it's nice and snug. And next we're going to get the filament. Okay, so I'm going to be putting some PLA in here. This part's going to be a little hard to show because I have one hand, but this tip of the filament is going to go through that hole and it'll come out on this end of the extruder. One thing to note is with this filament extruder, it does have a little plastic notch on top. It explains how to take it off right here. You essentially just push down on these two little black tabs. That's a little hard to see. And this opens that up. So again, I'm going to do it with one hand, but this will show you how to take that out. And that's what it should look like once the tab is taken out. So we have the PLA filament in here. We got the desiccant, and we got it coming out the extruder. Next thing we want to do is go ahead and close it up. We got these right here. There's a couple tabs that you'll see on the side. Go ahead and close it up. The next thing we'll be doing is we'll be connecting these feed tubes. So there are different lengths. I'm going to go with the small one because mine is pretty close to the feeder. And then that'll connect into this so that it'll have a direct feed from the filament holder, which is nice and dry, and it'll go straight into the heated nozzle. One small thing with mine is I already had this one that came in from this before I had the Drybox. So this does need to come out. You gotta be a little careful because your first instinct would be to pull it because you just pushed it in. But to take it out, they have this black tab right around here, and you just have to push into it and it should come out. Again, I can't do it with one hand, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to push it in with these tweezers that I have, and that should come right out. There you go. Came right out. Just push on that black tab. Do not try to pull too hard or twist or anything. It's very easy once you push on this, and it'll slide right out. So next we're going to place this onto the feeder. Now, before I mentioned we don't need these. These I think are for different printers and might not be as compatible. But up here you see two notches in the back, and you see two notches right here as well. These are just gonna slide in. So just put it in. This I can do with one hand. And on the back. On the back, there it is. It's nice and snug. The next thing after that is you have this tab. This will go in and it just twists. So now that's nice and locked in. Alright, the last thing I need to do, I know I said I was going to use this small feeder tube, but I'm going to go with one of the longer ones. This one might be a bit too long, so let's go with the medium size. So I'm going to pull this in, put it in here one end, put the other end in here, and then I actually might need to open this back up so that I could feed the filament into the hot end when I load up the filament. So what I decided to do, and I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but it works for me, is before I lock in this end, instead of opening this up to feed in the filament, I'm just going to leave this open and push it in from this side as I load in the filament. And then as soon as it's nice and loaded, then I'll go ahead and close this end. It's really not that hard to open and close, so whenever I switch filament out, it should be pretty okay to swap. Alright, cool. So got this loaded in nice and tight. The filament is going all the way through to the extruder. It's loaded up, and now this Qidi Drybox is good to go. And once you want to replace, you follow the same process of replacing the filament here, pulling it out, and just repeat and redo. But yeah, I hope this helps. I couldn't find a good one online when I was doing this, so I hope this is a little more detailed and can show you how to remove and connect these tubes and get this Drybox up and rolling on the Qidi Plus 4.